It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
Welcome into We Talk Sports Good. We are here. It's Wednesday, of course. You know what it is. We got Randall here in the house, and we are continuing part 2. So hopefully y'all that had tuned in over from James and the Agent, they were finishing up their show, and we roll right into ours. So with the back-to-back shows, and Randall, NFL season right here this week,
dude.
Week 1.
I can't believe it's tomorrow. I'm so hyped. That and then
Happy Football Eve.
Yeah, and then no offense to the teams that played this past Saturday, but I feel like real college football starts this weekend.
Yep.
It's gonna be a good weekend, dude.
I don't know. Did you see the good old fighting Mormons on Monday? Just put a whooping on Navy.
Yeah, I missed the game, but I kind of figured something like that would happen, so I was comfortable missing the game. So
Mitt Romney's nephew or something went off.
Yeah, Mitt Romney's nephew. He's got a real football sounding name too. I can't remember what his first name. Gunner. That's what it is. Gunner Romney. Romney. Wow. Romney. Wow. What a name.
That's a
what
football
a name
right there. He was born to play football.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So, but as you mentioned, we're football eve and more college football. You can get some pay-per-view OU, but the big names kind of coming up. We do have a lot more MyBookie options in that 1-2-OZ sports code, and we have basketball, of course, still going. NHL. I know I was looking at one of our own 12-ounce Pete's Power Play. He's very upfront on he'll tell you when he has picks wrong. Obviously a lot of people don't tell you that. They just want to promote their wins, but he'll put his wrong ones. But his percentage is it was 350 and 120 or something like that. I mean,
he's pulling a Wolf of Wall Street where he's saying, don't judge me by my winners, judge me by my losers because I have so few of them.
Yep. So he's been nailing some NHL playoffs. So that's going on there in the finals. So conference finals, I should say. Excuse me. Stanley Cup will be following up. Possibly our local Stars will possibly. Yep. 1-1 with Vegas. Vegas showed back up last night. So, but this is part 2 NFL, so we're going to get right back into that. So, excuse as well if show mascot Rexy decides to be a little vocal during the show. Maybe he disagrees. He's been barking a little more now since we got him. So, I don't know. Maybe he might disagree on a point I have, so you might hear him. So, who knows? He's biting me right now. So,
gotta bite him right back, dude. Yeah. Show dominance.
Alpha
I'm
male.
Kidding. Don't do that. That was a joke. Don't.
I will
get
not.
Mad.
But he's telling me to go right into part 2, and that is NFC. So,
nice.
Man, NFC. And I'm not saying the AFC is when I say the NFC is so strong, it's nothing against the AFC. There's obviously some very good teams in the AFC side, but the depth of this NFC. I feel like almost I saw someone say earlier that they feel like you could make an argument for almost every team in the NFC. If they made the playoffs, you'd be like, oh yeah, I could see that happening. AFC, there's plenty of teams no way. But
it bottoms out pretty hard at the NFC. Low couple, it bottoms out.
But
hard.
The vast majority, you know what? Even my line, I'll straight up. I don't have them making the playoffs. But if they somehow made a 9-7, 10-6 run and made it, I wouldn't be 100% surprised. I don't have that expectation.
But that's the flip side.
Yeah.
Where 9-7
might
get you in the playoffs in the AFC. I don't think it's getting you necessarily. It might snag you, but you're going to need some help.
Yeah, so as we go, yes, Cameron Slagle, I will read this tweet live on air. Were you doubting me?
Was it that tweet?
No, yeah, he said, will you read this tweet live on air? And I just did, so boom. So.
Stop dodging our movie podcast, Cam.
Called out live.
We talk movies good. Needs to happen.
Possible, if he would just accept. So, we'll move right into it. And you know what? Let's go right into NFC North. As I mentioned, the Lions. And with my Lions in this division, I'll go first since we'll move to the South next. I'll let you have the South first. But,
all
right. Okay, so when we do this predictor thing, obviously, as we mentioned last week, there's some teams that are like, oh my gosh, that would, like, I'm just going to put that disclaimer for this whole show. Like,
right.
I'm going to actually say what I think they could end up at. I will say I have no faith in the Bears. So when I went through the scheduler, I think I just wasn't even paying attention to actually giving the Bears wins because I had them at 2-14, and I don't obviously think they'll be that bad by far. That defense is way better than that. However, I have no trust in Mitch Trubisky, so I do think they'll bottom out at the bottom, but I don't see 2-14. I think that defense can obviously keep them in games, but I think it's a goodbye, Mitch. You'll see Foles come in at some point during the year. I mean, I know they added him, but what if they did tank and got Lawrence with that defense? Like, that would be a great defense to start in the NFL, but I don't think they'll tank that bad. I think they'll end up 5-6 wins. I just don't think they're going to be that good. I just, like I said, I don't see that offense being. I mean, I like Allen Robertson a lot. They have 10 tight ends, so maybe they'll figure that out. Montgomery.
You have 10 tight ends. You have no tight ends.
Yeah. Didn't they get Jimmy? I don't know. They added Jimmy Graham, right? He's just been bouncing around. I mean, Jimmy Graham at this point, it doesn't really count anymore.
Yeah. It hadn't counted since the Saints.
No.
I mean, the second he left the Saints, it's kind of. I mean, I don't remember. He might have had one good season in Seattle, but
he just never really meshed up well anywhere else. But
should have never left, man.
Yeah, so.
Well, actually, we traded him. So sorry, Jimmy.
But I really like Montgomery out of college. I know, obviously, rookie year. I'm not trying to put it all, but I know he's now going to start with an injury. Cohen's a great receiving piece, but I don't know. I just don't see enough. I like Anthony Miller, but once again, I just don't see enough. That offensive line was beat up last year. I don't know if they can stay healthy again. Altogether, I don't see this Bears team being a playoff team, so I kind of have them there at the bottom. Me with my no faith in Lions ended up only getting them 6 wins. I could see that easily. I could see as high as 9 wins. I don't see a 10-win year. I know people are picking them as the sleeper. They could trend like the 49ers. I don't want to go that far. The 49ers had a lot more talent on defense going in. I like the offense a lot. As Stafford stayed healthy, obviously you saw they were in one-score games consistently. They battled the Chiefs to the end with Stafford, but that offense will keep them in games, no doubt. I just don't think that it's going to be enough. So with that, let's see here. Can you hear me again? I might have cut out. Oop. Well, I'm going to keep going. I think Randall might have lost me. So give me just a second here. So going back, so yeah, I just don't see much on the lines, and so I'm gonna get Randall back in here, and that's Randall now. I think we have you back here, Randall. Do we have you? No. Okay. Well, I'll keep going. Hopefully we'll get Randall back in. So yeah, so that's where I kind of the lines. I think there's potential, obviously, with the offense. There we go. I think we got Randall back. So moving back up on the standings.
There we go.
There we go. We got Randall back.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I thought I disconnected from the internet, so I freaked out again. So
no, it was actually my mic went out. I didn't know what happened. It was kind of strange.
Well, I just finished up rambling on the Lions. I'm just moving on because
What'd you have your? Sorry, I missed.
I have them at 6-10. I think they can win. I think they'll end up 7-9, 8-8ish.
That's fair. Okay.
I don't see that playoff game. They're going to compete. They're going to have close games. That offense is going to be fun, but I just can't see that being a playoff team. So we'll see what the future holds there. So moving up, and once again, I think it was just the top end NFC teams made this happen. Why I have some really bad teams, but I have the Vikings at 7-9. I don't think. Once again, I think my whole NFC North is kind of weirdly off. I think all the teams are going to have a couple more wins. 4-5 for the Bears, 7-8 for the Lions. I think the Vikings will end up 8-9. I think there'll be a missed playoff team at that 9-7 possibly. I know I said 7-9 here, but I mean, obviously losing Diggs added Jefferson. You still have Cook, Thielen. The defense, I'm going to butcher the guy they just got from the Jags. So obviously they still have a good team. They made the playoffs. They beat the Saints. I don't want to doubt that. I just think the whole NFC got stronger.
Calm down.
And with that, I think the Packers are going to win the division. I have them at 11-5. I will actually have a ton of teams at 11-5. This is where it gets interesting because however they broke the tiebreakers for all these 11-5 teams. Obviously, I'm not going to change anything on my playoff teams because that's how my bracket got made. But I will say I could see a 10-win Packers season, getting the division and then putting them, lower. But for this, I am going to say they go 11-5 just to keep what the bracket was created for me. So that's where I have the North. I'll let you take it away.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I think we actually flipped a little bit with how we had the Bears. Once I was done, I actually felt like I had them a little bit better than I really was thinking. I ended up with them at 7-9.
Okay. I mean, that could be a top end, I think.
I think that's top end. I feel like realistically 5 to 6 wins is probably fair for them. It will be interesting to see if Foles does come in, does he still have some left?
Yeah.
I think would be interesting to see because that could really switch things around. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're another team where I'm just not sure where they go from here because you think all they need is a quarterback, but I don't really know if that's true. Obviously, I think Allen Robinson is underrated, but I like Anthony Miller. They have so many tight ends that aren't really good tight ends. Their offensive line can be good when they're healthy. And I feel like as great as that defense is supposed to be, it's actually been on the downhill ever since that one incredible season. So I don't know about the Bears. But then I have your Lions also at 7-9. I felt like that was a comfortable place for them with me. I had them getting some good wins there. I'm excited to see Stafford back. I hope he doesn't, suffer another injury or anything like that. I love their running backfield. You have a lot. Kerryon Johnson, Swift, Peterson. Do they still technically have Scarborough on
He's
the
IR?
Okay.
Short-term.
Yeah. So it's an interesting backfield there. They have Chase Daniel, which I'm super jealous about as the backup quarterback. But
I would have rather not paid him that much, but go on.
It is what it is. He's made a living off of that. I think Chase Daniel might be one of those guys that you're also paying for his offensive mind a little bit. I have a feeling he's going to be one of those offensive coordinator guys once he finally retires. Same thing with Colt McCoy. So, but something I'm really interested to see with the Lions is how T.J. Hawkinson does in his second year. Yeah, I still really like him. I obviously am not. I like Fant better personally. I have said that for a while. I thought Hawkinson probably was the better tight end, but I always preferred Fant. But it should be an interesting team. I don't think they're gonna. I really don't think they're gonna make a run for the playoffs, but wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Then I have the Vikings at 8-8. There's just something about them that I don't trust the team going forward. Something about Diggs still gave them that edge to me. The defense looks a little bit different. The corners are so young, and Holton Hill starting at cornerback, Hughes starting at quarterback, Gladney, KB out of Texas, Dantzler. Like I don't trust that cornerback group. So I just don't know about their defense, and then I still don't know if Kirk Cousins can get it done. I just don't.
If I die, I die.
Ugh, so ridiculous. But yeah, I felt like 8-8 is fair.
Yeah.
And then the Packers, I have them at 12-4. Yeah, I think we get a pissed off Rodgers this year.
I think that's what led me to the 11-5. I'll say I'm looking at it. I had him at 5-1 in the division, so I think that pissed off took the division well in this when I was picking.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's not even technically second string right now, right? I'm pretty sure.
Boyle?
Yeah, I want to say Boyle's actually the second stringer right now. But I really like their running backs, Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams. I think A.J. Dillon is going to end up surprising some people this year and end up being ahead of Jamal Williams. I'm really excited about him. And then, we'll see if Scantling can do well. I know he had some injuries last year and stuff. But they definitely need somebody opposite of Devontae Adams still. You'd like a better tight end than Mercedes Lewis, but regardless of the guys, I still feel like Aaron Rodgers can make do. They still have a good offensive line.
Well,
so
they have Sternberger, right? He's supposed to make this step up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot from A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Defense, they still have Kenny Clark. I love Kenny Clark. I don't know what it is about him, but Jair Alexander, I feel like is one of those really underrated young corners. Amos, Savage, King. I actually kind of like their defense. They're not the best, but I think they can handle themselves out there. So I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have a pissed off Aaron Rodgers, and he's gonna come out swinging and go 12-4.
All right. Well, I'll let you take the NFC South with your Saints.
Oh, Lord. All right, so first I have the Panthers at 5-11.
Okay.
I don't know. I like the way their defense is headed with what they did this year. That front is going to be really, really good for them. Short, Derek Brown, Burns, Gross-Matos. Shaq Thompson taking the reins at linebacker, still kind of shaky on that, and I'm not huge on their defensive backs, but I like where they're headed with that defense. And then, you got CMC. You'll be fine in the running game, that's for sure. Offensive line's still a little shaky, but I like what they have. Receivers, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel. It's, it all just rides on Teddy. If Teddy can play well, what I saw out of him last year was with the Saints was timidness. Mm-hmm. I feel like he was timid to throw the ball down the field. I don't know if that was necessarily him or Sean being timid with him. Either way, it works. We won while he was there, but I don't feel like they have the team that we had. So I think 5-11 in his first year there. I just hope they don't give up on him. So, and then I got the Falcons at 5-11. You feel bad for Matt Ryan, but I feel like they don't have it there this year. I feel like they still need a lot of pieces personally. So we'll see about Todd Gurley. Could be interesting. I don't know. But I don't like their defense. I really don't. Keanu Neal's back, but he always gets hurt. Deion Jones always gets hurt. Now they're trusting Tack McKinley and Dante Fowler as the pass rushers. I'm not a huge Fowler fan anymore, and Tack McKinley's up and down. They still have Grady Jarrett, who's incredible, but I'm excited about Hayden Hurst, though, in that offense. I think he's a fun fantasy pick. So, we'll move on to the Bucs, and I have the Bucs at 11-5. I think Brady plays like Brady. We'll see how bad Mike Evans' injury is, if he ends up playing this week or if he's out for a little bit longer. I don't know. But even if he was out, they have plenty of weapons, obviously. Just got Fournette. I think people are overreacting with Fournette a little bit. We're talking about Bruce Arians' offense.
Yeah.
Fournette's never had that many touchdowns. He's never had over 10 touchdowns in a season. He's always stayed. It's 9 or below. He's never had, he's had that couple of seasons of pretty good yardage, but he's not going to get those touches like he did. The counter argument was, maybe you have to game plan a little bit differently against him now, but I don't know. I wasn't too hyped about the Fournette pickup for them. I think it's good, but
yeah,
I don't think it's good for Fournette necessarily, I guess, for his stats at least. But hopefully he doesn't care. For wins, yes, definitely helps. But 11-5. I like their defense too. Vita Vea is so good. I love him.
I think all the hype on the offense, people are forgetting how good the defense is. But you can go on. I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, Golston, Vita Vea, Sue, Pierre-Paul, Devin White, Levante David, Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett leading sacks last year. DBs are still woof, but who needs them when you got a good offense, right?
Yep, exactly.
But then I got, and I don't know what happened here. I'm gonna be honest.
Did you put it at 15-1?
No. I have them at 14-2.
Ooh.
But I do think we can go 13-3. But 14-2 was rough. I didn't get a chance to go back and look and see what I had. I know I had them losing to the Bucks once. And then probably the one that I have us winning that I know I probably shouldn't be having us winning is the Chiefs. I have us beating the Chiefs. But, it is what it is. I still believe in the Saints this year. I think the Kamara thing, we're probably going to re-sign him and kind of prove that we want him around type of thing soon here. I feel like we just have an all-around good team. I mean, I feel like we don't necessarily have any holes. I dare anyone to try to run on us. That's kind of been the thing for the past few years. Rankins, Malcolm Brown, Onyemata, Tuttle came out of nowhere last year. Cam Jordan, Davenport, Trey Hendrickson. We've got a really good defense for stopping the run. And we're good at the stopping the pass when Lattimore feels like we're good at stopping the pass. I don't know. It's, if it's against the Bucks, we're stopping the pass because he's going to lock down Mike Evans. He, for some reason, hates Mike Evans. Well, it's not for some reason. If you saw what happened a couple of seasons ago, it's very clear. But, I trust us. I hope Lattimore plays well, and if I think he plays well the entire season like he did his rookie season, I think 14-2 is not out of the realm of possibility. So.
Okay. I'll start at the bottom. I think I have them a little too bad, but I think this goes on. I just don't trust them at all anymore since the Super Bowl loss. I have the Falcons, and I put them at 4-12. I don't think they'll be that bad, but I think 5 or 6 wins. There's no trust. I have no trust. Like you said, the defense, will they even stay healthy? They'll have offensive games, but then they'll also just disappear. Will Gurley stay healthy? I mean, yeah, you have Julio. I mean, they just can't ever get Julio touchdowns, though. So,
nope.
I don't know. There's just no faith left for me in the Falcons. I just had a hard time picking them in any games. I get 4-12 is probably not what would happen if it did. Blowing up the team, possibly, except for the offensive line they spend every first-round pick on. But I have the Panthers at 6-10. I think 6-10 might be probably top end. 7-9 would be. Like you said, obviously there's a lot to see. Like, what will Teddy do in not a Saints offense? There's obviously, like you mentioned, weapons around him, very good weapons, but the defense is very young. Yeah, the DBs need more seasoning, but I don't know. A Matt Rule team just feels they're just building it right. Their future, they're just kind of stuck in a tough division. Maybe if this was a weaker division, I could see him making a better push, but yeah, I think when you have the top end of the Bucks and Saints, and I mean, like I said, the Falcons are still going to put some good offensive games up, so I think that'll just make it tough. But I mean, I like where the Panthers are going. I really, as well, hope they stick long term with Teddy, because I think the offense is kind of there. They just need to kind of work together. You have 3 weapons and a running back. Just need to kind of season up the DBs and spot someone here and there on the team. But I like where they're heading. Obviously it's not this year. I match you with the Bucks at 11-5. Obviously, I don't really think I need to speak more on the offense. Obviously, also don't forget they drafted Tyler Johnson out of Minnesota. I think that'll be a nice little extra. They have 3 good tight ends still.
Completely forgot about that.
They obviously added Gronk, but they still have Brayton, OJ Howard. Obviously, I know OJ's not what
Brayton
he has.
Always gets hurt.
But that's your 2 and 3 tight ends.
Yeah.
They could run some old, how they used to Hernandez and Gronk. So who knows?
I'll tell you what, those OJ Howard trade rumors died within 24 hours, real fast.
Yeah. I mean, I think 2 tight ends and Brady just always seems to work well, but
yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned the defense. I think slept on. I mean, we have obviously you mentioned all the line and pass rush, but Devin White and Levante David as your core linebackers, inside linebackers, that's going to get the job done. That's going to make the tackles. Also, I love the Antoine Winfield Jr. Draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to. I saw someone say he could be up there in interceptions as a rookie, and I don't blame him. I mean, especially when you have that. If the pass rushers are getting to the QB, it's going to help him out. But I think he's set up pretty well on that team. So I have 11-5. And to go, I think obviously I mentioned I had a lot of 11-5 teams, and I think the NFC is just really competitive and don't have the Saints goggles on. I have the Saints at 11-5. You see the trend here. There's going to be a lot of 11-5 teams.
Yeah.
It's just hard when they're going against each other. So they do have the division win. That did happen. However, they broke the tie here. I don't remember where my picks were. I thought they split. This shows both 4-2 in division, so wherever next. So yeah, both are 4-5, or sorry, 4-2 in division, but 11-5, and both going to the playoffs. Obviously with 11 wins. So I will move on to the NFC East, and look, I'm not going to spend much on the Washington football team, the Giants. I like the Washington football team defensive line, but I mean, I hope they can protect Haskins and they don't get him beat up too much, because you can't just destroy your QB that fast. Maybe Gibson's a good little step up. Obviously they have Terry, but they have no one else. Logan Thomas, last I saw, was listed as the number 1 tight end. The former Virginia Tech quarterback, Logan Thomas.
They still have Sprinkle, right?
I think, but I mean, they listed Logan. They listed Logan first, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Thad Moss on the IR?
They released him.
Question mark? They ended up releasing him?
Yeah.
When that happened?
Oh,
that happened
I think
past couple of days? What? Are you sure he's not back on that team?
You have to double check. I thought I saw him released a while ago, but maybe.
Yeah, I'll check. Just 1 second. Keep talking.
Yeah. So I'm going to say I have them both at 2-14. I think the Giants will win more than 2 wins. I could see Washington having the 2-win year. But I was kind of surprised with the Giants. I think it was just hard for me to make those underdog picks. I think the Giants could go 4 or 5 wins. Take a little bit of a step up. Daniel Jones played well, and if the receivers all stay healthy and Golden Tate is a full season not having some suspension. You have Barkley, Ingram, if Ingram stays healthy as well, Tate, Shepard, Slater. I think they can make a little noise. Obviously, they're still building teams, so not much to spend on. Who knows? Joe Judge, I know everyone's back and forth on, but I think they'll be better than 2-14. I think maybe that 4-5 win. So moving on to the Eagles, I have
update before you go.
Okay.
Thad Moss is on the team.
Okay.
He's on the IR.
Okay, so maybe they just released so then they can move to injury or something like that. Maybe that's what I saw. I did have the injury update before that happened. So I have the Eagles at 10-6, not making the playoffs.
10-6. Wow.
10-6. Maybe I think that's top end wins for them.
Yeah.
I think 9 might be more realistic here. But I don't know. I mean, obviously it's all on Wentz's health. I think they still overspent, but I think Hurts as the backup is still smart. I don't know. I really like Miles Sanders. I said that at the draft last year, so I think he could have a big year. I know offensively, I feel like they need to get Goddard involved more. They spent a pick, as high as they did. I don't feel like they use him as much as he should. They only did once they had like no receivers left. So I think getting Slay was huge because corners was such a bad spot for him last year. I don't know. They're going to be a competitive team. I just don't have a lot of faith. That double-digit win might be tough this year. I know I have them there at 10. I think 9's more realistic. They're going to miss the playoffs. Then I have the 11-5 Dallas Cowboys. I think they'll get a lot of division wins. They always do. They don't have Jason Garrett, so that's a plus. That's another 2 wins added. They have the offense, and they just added more to that defensive line with the Griffin signing. Obviously, corner's weak, but I mean, I think ideally if the defensive line plays up to their standard, then your corners don't have to cover too long. I think there is still some weakness on that defense, but they're going with the shootout style offense, so I think that 11-5 will fit them well.
That's fair. All right, so yeah, same. I'm not gonna spend much time on Washington. I have them 1-15.
Also, when I said that the Jags weren't going to be the worst team, Washington's why.
What was your record on them again?
3-13.
Oh wow, okay. So yeah, I have the Giants at 3-13.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't not trust Daniel Jones. I don't trust that Saquon's going to stay healthy. And I don't know about Sterling Shepard yet. He hadn't stayed healthy long enough. Golden Tate never stays healthy. Slayton came on. I like him. Evan Ingram never stays healthy. That offensive line is still too young to know if they're going to be good yet. Obviously, Andrew Thomas, I talked about him all offseason. My favorite offensive lineman from the past class. So really glad they have him at left tackle. But then that defense is still bad. I like Dexter Lawrence. Dalvin Tomlinson is is underrated for me. Lynn Williams is just not that. He's not good. He's not good. He doesn't perform the way he should. I like they're adding Blake Martinez, but other than that, that defense is going to be bad. The offense is not, unless Saquon can stay healthy the whole season and be Saquon that he should be. That offense is probably not going to be that great either. I do not like the Giants at all this year, and obviously Washington either because 1-10 or 1-15. Good God.
And I don't think this is going to be fair. I want to jump in. I meant to say I don't think it's going to be fair on the Jones versus Haskins kind of debate going forward because I mean, obviously they're two different. I think the point of Jones has some weapons, but like you said, they can't stay healthy. Haskins just doesn't have anything. I don't know. I wasn't really ever sold on him, but I'm
not even sold on Scary Terry.
Really? Okay.
Not really. Now they do have Antonio Gandy Golden. I like him
they did get
a lot.
So I guess they have one more potential if they use him right.
Yeah, right. But then I have the Eagles. Man, we flipped. I have the Eagles at 6-10.
Oh.
Yeah. I was kind of looking at them again today, and man, it's the defense, man. I'm not sold on the defense. Obviously, Fletcher Cox is amazing. Hargrave has had an up and down career. Brandon Graham is old. He's old.
Produces, though.
He produces, but Barnett, I'm still not sold on. And the linebackers are horrendous. Duke Riley, T.J. Edwards, Nathan Gary, Sean Bradley, I think is still there somehow. No, wait, it's a different Sean Bradley, isn't it? I'm thinking of the old Sean Bradley, the dude who used to be there. But, you bring in Darius Slay. Cool. Mills is still there. McLeod was there last year. Yeah. Avonte Maddox, Nickel Roby, awesome. But they ended up dropping LeBlanc, 2 days ago, I think. That was kind of like a surprise drop. But I'm not thrilled about that defense this year. Offense, Alshon Jeffrey will get hurt. We know that. Then you're down to Deshaun Jackson, Greg Ward, Rieger, Arcega-Whiteside, who was horrible last year. Marquise Goodwin, we know he's not going to end up probably getting to play.
Well, he opted out.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's why he's out. I forgot. Well, he would have got hurt anyways. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. He never gets to play anymore. Ertz, Goddard, cool. You got them. And I'm not sold on Miles Sanders yet.
Okay.
And outside of Miles Sanders, they have Boston Scott, Corey Clement, Jalen Hurts if they try to run him, I guess. But I don't know. I don't like the Eagles this year. But then I have the Cowboys at 11-5.
Okay.
God, I don't want to say nice things about them. Their offense is stacked. Offense is stacked. The only thing that I'm willing to bet that they could be like, we wish we had a slightly better tight end, but like, who knows? Blake Jarwin might end up being good this season. Like, there's talks about him being.
Yeah, I think he fits fine. Like you said, I don't think you want the tight end to really be stealing much.
No, I'm not hating on Blake Jarwin necessarily.
But I don't think you'd really necessarily need to bring in the big name when you have 3 wide receivers.
Now, I'll say this. If they didn't draft CeeDee Lamb, I'd be hating a little bit. Fair. I'd be like, they need somebody else.
Yeah.
But CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Cooper, you're good, man. You're fine. Zeke Elliott, I really like Tony Pollard. I don't think he gets enough carries, but then again, are you going to steal carries away from Zeke? No. Andy Dalton, baby. He's still there. Don't forget about that. And that defense has gotten better. I mean, Lawrence, they bring in Poe. I like the bringing in Poe.
Man, if they had McCoy stayed healthy, that would have been even. Yeah,
apparently Aldon Smith has been looking like really good.
Apparently Tristan Hill's actually playing like a second-round pick now in practice.
Yeah. So still not sold on the DB situation. I like bringing in Diggs. I thought that was good. If they would have ended up getting like Earl Thomas or something, I'm in. Like I'm a little in, but defense is heading in a good direction there. I don't want to try to run on them. That's for sure. So I really like the Cowboys this year. I think they're going to make some noise.
I mean, and I
sadly,
feel like,
as much as that hurts.
I know it's the same. I mean, and I feel like too, all the past 2-3 years of the noise, the Cowboys fans, it's been like, no, let's shut up. This one, I was like, you know what, your expectations better be NFC title and Super Bowl or bust, because on paper,
this team's too good on paper to not be.
This is actually, if you don't win a playoff game, like, you do deserve to be made fun of. Like, the past years, it's like, they squeaked the win. You're like, fine, that was actually overachieving. This time, it's like, no, they need to win a playoff game or two.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you're going to figure out what you're going to want to do with Dak after this year and all that money they've got to figure out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, we'll move to the NFC West. And if you guys had listened 2-3 years ago, I think you kind of know where I'm heading on this division. But we'll stay tuned to the Super Bowl pick to see if you really were paying attention. I'll just take it, since if we kind of have a spoiler on my end, possibly, I don't know if people will even pay attention. But so I actually have the Rams in last. Hard to say because I do like McVay. I have them at 7-9. I think they'll be that 7-9 wins. I don't know. I mean, I'm so hitting back and forth. It's Goff. It's I don't know. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl, then he tanked out, and in the Super Bowl, I mean, he didn't play terrible last year, but he just also never seems to be that taking over. He hasn't got that yet, which I don't think that's necessarily fair right away. I mean, but if you look at other people in his class, they kind of are taking over. I don't know. He's so hit or miss on me. I can never really. I can't get a feel of where I'm at. So with that, I have 2 11-5 teams. The newly acquired Jamal Adams and the Seahawks are going 11-5. I can't bet against Russell Wilson. Just adding someone else to the defense. They can figure out how they want to use him, obviously, with how they have in the past on creating that defense. I have my big surprise pick team this year Coach Bro, Kyler Murray, Agent Hop, going 11-5. Obviously the defense is not all there, but they still have some, at least. Peterson's still there. They paid Buddha. We'll see how much that works out. Added Simmons, love that. Added Jones to the offensive line. When you still have Fitz, you still have Isabella. Kenyon's good enough. They don't need much out of the running back. So I have them sneaking in there in a playoff spot. And then my number 1 seed. Probably could have given them a loss or two more. But 14-2, the 49ers.
Oh.
I think that might be a little high. I think 13 or 12-4 might be more realistic.
I feel like you like the 49ers just as much as I like the Saints.
I guess so. I don't know. That's so weird. So, obviously, they went to the Super Bowl, fell down in the 4th to the great Mahomes, but the defense is still pretty much intact. Obviously, I don't like losing Sanders. I know Samuel, he took a big step in once he was ready to play. I know he's going to start a little injured. I really like the Ayuk. How do you say the Arizona State receiver?
Ayuk. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk.
I really like that pick. I think he'll fit in well. Not going to replace Sanders, but that will still add. And I think we're both big Mostert's fans here.
Yeah. Is this the year Dante Pettis finally breaks out?
Maybe. I don't know. And then you still have Coleman's always a great second back, and McKinnon's supposed to be playing this year, so maybe they'll start. We'll see.
I don't hate Jeff Wilson Jr. either.
Jeff Wilson Jr. is. Shanahan's, what he has done for that offense is, I really enjoy watching it because they don't. Obviously they have Kittle, but apart from that, they don't need like that star. He knows how to move around, make things work.
Yeah.
It's just fun to watch. So I'll just let you continue here. NFC West.
Yeah. So I also have the Rams at the bottom. I have them 6-10. Don't trust the running backs. Look, love Malcolm Brown. Hook them. Don't trust him. Cam Akers, don't know what he's got. Darrell Henderson, meh. Cooper Kupp's probably going to get hurt. He gets hurt every season. Robert Woods, he's going to play well. He might get hurt, but then all you have is Josh Reynolds, right? They brought in Van Jefferson. Cool.
Yeah.
Higbee and Everett, I'm still out on. About to sneeze. Just kidding. Good. Whitworth at age 50 playing left tackle for him, but it's the defense too is a little weird to me. I feel like they've slowly been losing these pieces, and now they brought in Jalen Ramsey and they re-signed him today, or gave him an extension. But Troy Hill is their other corner. Taylor Rapp is still a question mark
when he's healthy.
So, yeah. I don't know. The linebacking core is question mark.
Wes Littleton.
Sure. But I don't know. I don't know about them. I don't feel good about them this year. I really don't. I don't trust Goff. So, then I have the Cards also at 11-5.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about them. I was hyping up Kyler to one of my buddy that played baseball at OU back in the day with him. I was hyping him up, and he was getting really excited about him. I'm still not necessarily sold on Kenyon Drake, but even if he's not as great as I like Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
So,
that wide receiver to be great at running back for that team.
No, you don't. D-Hop, Kirk, Fitzgerald, A.D. Isabella still sitting on the bench. Well, not on the bench. He's going to be on the field, but still not sold on tight end. I want to say, are they starting Max Williams this year? Probably.
Oh, I'm going to double check.
I feel like because they have Max Williams and Dan Arnold. I feel like they'll probably end up starting Max Williams. But the O-line's still a question mark, but I think they'll be fine.
Their official website does list Max Williams.
Okay, yeah, so that's a big question mark at tight end. But defense has gotten better. They signed Jordan Phillips after he had a really good season with the Bills. Zach Allen, Chandler Jones, obviously sack extraordinaire, and then Isaiah Simmons. So really excited to see how he fits in that defense. Anywhere fits all of it, and anywhere. They signed Budda Baker to a huge contract this summer, so I'm excited about them. I'm really excited about the Cards. So I think they're going to be one of the more fun teams to watch and follow this season. So Kyler is, I would not be surprised at the end of his career if you told me right now that the end of his career results in him being a slightly better version of Russell Wilson, where he's got a little bit better arm strength, a little bit faster, still makes the good decision making, doesn't rely on his legs, but has them if he needs to, if he needs to run. So I really like the Kyler to Russell Wilson comp. So, and then speaking of Russell Wilson, I've got the Seahawks, and this is where I'm like, I don't necessarily know. I don't know what happened, but I don't think they're going to be this 13-3. I think either 12 wins or 11 wins is realistic. I liked your 11-5 for both of them.
Yeah.
But I still like them. Tyler Lockett, if hopefully he can stay healthy the full season. DK Metcalf, I've always been a big Philip Dorsett fan if he can stay healthy. The tight ends are interesting for them to me because you have Greg Olsen, but then both Hollister and Disley had times last season where they both did really well. Chris Carson, I think, is going to have a big season. Hopefully he can stay healthy. The defense is still, not big on the fact that their premier pass rusher is LJ Collier. Not big on that, but, it is what it is. Bringing in Jamal Adams is good. Oh, low-key, Jamal Adams is probably their premier pass rusher, if we're going to be 100% honest. Fair. Him or Bruce Irvin, I guess. But Bruce is not been that great of a pass rusher in a while. So, but I still like Seattle. When you have Russell Wilson, I trust that you're probably going to end up making the playoffs. So, and then I have your 49ers also at 13-3. Man, I love the combination of all their running backs. Jimmy G, I think I don't need that much from Jimmy G. I'm good with it. What he brings to the table, I'm good with. Get Kittle the ball, let him run. I love the offensive line. McGlinchey is one of the better right tackles in the league, and people don't talk about him enough, I feel like. They bring in Trent Williams, Longview native. Shout out to the 903. And then the defensive line that was such a strong suit, they make even better by drafting Kinlaw. I feel like that's not being talked about enough. Yes. So, plus they're going to have Quan Alexander back for the full season. Fred Warner, Greenlaw. This defense is going to be so good. Mm-hmm. So, 49ers 13-3. To the playoffs. So, I have all these 11-5 teams, so this is how it broke it out. It could have gone so many different ways if teams flipped. That was what made it tough. So, anyway, for me, with all the 11-5s and how it broke out, 1 went to the 49ers, 2 Packers, 3 Cowboys, 4 Saints, 5 Bucks. That's how it broke. That's how the tiebreaker went. So I didn't have. That's really affected things. But 5 Bucks, so we'll have a Saints Bucks in the playoffs. Cardinals 6, Seahawks 7. So my first round, I do have the Seahawks beating the Packers. Nothing against Rodgers. I just trust. I don't know, Russell Wilson. I still think is almost underrated. I just don't think he gets his proper dues. Wow. So I have the Seahawks upsetting the Packers. You have the Saints winning after they split the series. The Saints will beat the Bucks in the playoffs. Let's go.
And I have a close, but Cowboys do edge out the first time in playoff Kyler Cardinals.
Nice.
I really wanted to, but I was like, the Cowboys have to win the game. If they lose that game, man, that would be almost embarrassing. Not because the Cardinals are bad, but how we talked about their expectations. So
yeah, fair enough. All right, so are we going to my first round then?
We'll go to your first round.
All right, cool. So my first seed ended up being the Saints, obviously. I don't think it's going to be 14-2, but I do think we're going to be the first seed. Then 49ers at 2, Packers at 3, Cowboys at 4, Seahawks at 5, Bucks at 6, Cards at 7. Did we have the exact same playoff teams?
We had the same teams.
Gotcha. Okay,
all different spots, though.
Yeah. Okay, so then in the first round, I have the Cards playing the 49ers, and I have the 49ers sadly stopping Kyler Murray. Then I have the Cowboys playing the Seahawks, and I have the Cowboys taking out Russell Wilson. That hurt me, but I have the Cowboys moving on. And then I have the Bucks and the Packs, and I have the Bucks getting the upset against Aaron Rodgers, and going on to play the Saints in the next round.
All right. Well, then my 1-7 becomes another rematch of a division team. It's 49ers Seahawks. The 49ers will take this one. Once again, I think I have them splitting, but this time the 49ers will go ahead, and this one's going to pain you. I'm sorry, Randall, but the 3-seeded Cowboys host the 4-seeded Saints, and the Cowboys are going to win.
I would throw up.
I'm sorry. So
that's like worst thing that I could possibly see happening in
home team Cowboys get the win and go to the NFC title.
That's a bad dream. All right, so hopefully. So I have an old school playoff matchup with the 49ers and the Cowboys. I think that'd be really fun, by the way.
Well, that's what my NFC championship is.
Yeah, whole week they could be showing some old playoff games against them. That'd be really cool. But I actually have the Cowboys surprising your 49ers and making it to the NFC Championship.
So we have them both making, but over
okay.
Yeah.
As much as we both hate them, we have them in the NFC Championship. And then the Bucks versus the Saints. I have the Saints coming out ahead, barely. I think that'll be. I would think that would be a heck of a game. But then that sets up a Cowboys Saints NFC Championship.
All right. Well. I just want to go with our we don't use our bias in our picks. Well, I mean, if we hated the Cowboys, we would have.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We are being true evaluators.
Hey, look, next year when Breeze is gone, trust me, I'm not gonna have the Saints here.
So I have a legendary matchup of Cowboys at 49ers, and. What do you know? I do have the 49ers taking that win and going to the Super Bowl.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Well, take a wild guess who I have.
You're the Saints.
Yeah, I got the Saints. This game really scares me, but I got Saints Chiefs in the Super Bowl, baby.
All right. So my Super Bowl, if you went back the last time, I just want to also say I saw only 8 times in NFL history there has been back-to-back Super Bowl champions. So obviously I had the Chiefs losing in the AFC Championship once again. Go back. Mahomes is going to be in that game consistently. It's hard to just make it that many wins to get there. So he's not going to always be in the Super Bowl. So I have a rematch, but not Harbaugh anymore. But Shanahan-Harbaugh, 49ers, Ravens. No blackouts are going to happen this time. And what do you know, if you listened in my 3-year plan, this is year 3 of my prediction, the 49ers will win the Super Bowl. This has to be one of the best predictions, right? I was 3 years out.
Look, if you get this, you're like, we have to somehow go back and find it.
I will find that clip. And
I will sift through hours of footage. And trust me, from 3 years ago, we have hours of footage.
So... Yeah. So I want to make sure we leave some time for awards. So, but yep.
I mean, look, man. At the end, it came down to what I want. I know we talked about not having bias, but I want the Saints to win. I think this is the perfect game of like, hold on, young buck. There's still one person from the old guard still here. He's got one more thing to do. He's gonna win a Super Bowl. 2 Super Bowls, right off into the sunset. Saints will probably suck the next season, and I'm okay with that. I would trade a Super Bowl this year for the next 5 to 10 years of sucking. I'd be perfectly fine with that. I think it could be a shootout. I think it'd be a fun game. I got the Saints winning the Super Bowl.
All right. Well, here for the last 5 minutes, we'll go somewhat quickly through our award picks.
Yeah.
So... we're going to save MVP for last.
Okay.
Go up the list from Comeback Player of the Year. I think we'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, comeback player of the year. I I said it out loud or said it to him, so he couldn't get it from me. But I have Cam Newton. You know, some weird circumstances last year. Was he injured the whole time? Could he have played? Who knows? Who really knows? But I think he's gonna play well for the Patriots, and I'm excited to watch him over there. I think it'll be pretty easy for him to win comeback player of the year.
Well, I'm going to get someone who wasn't hurt, but he was just taking some vacations. I'm going with Gronk then. With that crazy offense of weapons, are you really going to always double Gronk when they could be throwing up to Evans or throwing it to Godwin? I think Gronk's going to get his fair share of touchdowns. Brady and him still have, that rapport. They'll be fine. So he'll put up enough stats that it's going to look good. Media loves Gronk. He'll come back player of the year. So, moving the coach of the year, I'll go here real quick. Obviously, with the big jump to the playoffs, I have Coach Cliff Kingsbury with that big jump, getting the Cardinals to that next step. Will get rewarded with a coach of the year.
I also have Cliff Kingsbury getting coach of the year. I think this is an obvious front runner for this award this year. Going from 5-10 to what we both had predicted at 11-5. That's coach of the year all the way.
Yep. So offensive rookie here, this one's simple. He's starting from day one. He's the number one pick. Yep. I think we're both then going Joe Burrow.
Yep. Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's close just because he can get some stats thanks to being with the Chiefs. But I think the quarterback, number one pick, day one, Burrow's going to take it.
Yep.
All right.
Same.
Defensive rookie of the year. I'm not going with the obvious Chase Young. I'm going with my stud team. That's surprising people. Isaiah Simmons is such a weapon defensively. He will do it all, and that's a big step that the Cardinals defense needs. And he'll have sacks, he'll have interceptions, he'll make plays. Simmons for defensive rookie of the year.
Fair enough. Well, here's the real defensive rookie of the year, Patrick Queen for the Ravens. He will be starting at middle linebacker, taking over that Ray Lewis role that they haven't necessarily had since he was gone. Oh, wait, no, C.J. Mosley. Ugh. But I really like him. I think he's going to be fast sideline to sideline. He's exactly what they need. He's going to rack up a whole lot of tackles. I'm really excited about him.
Obviously, Michael Thomas took Offensive Player of the Year last year, and I think someone that will get his dues from just how much he does offensively, I have Christian McCaffrey taking it this year. Okay. Obviously, he does everything, and he'll put up stats in rushing, receiving, plenty, so he'll get it this year.
I have Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
It's usually not necessarily a quarterback, though, right?
It's sometimes. It's been hit or miss.
Yeah. Well, I got Lamar. Just too much there to refuse.
All right. And then my defensive player of the year. Oh, wish I had a little more time, but I do have this team making the playoffs, and that defense is really good. He stepped in halfway through the year and made huge impact. And he'll make a bigger step. Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. I have Trey White, best corner in football. I'm saying it here.
Gotcha. And the award we're all waiting for, and I think I'm wondering if we're on the same page now. The big leap, 5-11. I got Kyler here.
As your MVP?
I'm going dark horse MVP here.
Whoa, no.
Give me those odds. Give me those odds.
No, that's not what I have. My MVP, it's lame. I know. It's so. I have Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
And that's the reason I didn't give Lamar the offensive player of the year. Or Pat the MVP. I'm saying this all wrong. Lamar's offensive player of the year because they couldn't give him MVP because Pat wins it, basically. Okay. That was my thinking on that.
So
kind of like how
sometimes. Get them both.
Yeah. Trying to get them both in, but Pat just edges them out. Better team this year. Probably more, significantly more passing yards. So.
All right. Well, that's it. That's our Super Bowl picks. So we'll start seeing the results here already this month, this week, tomorrow. So we'll be back again next Wednesday. Enjoy some football and have a great rest of your night.